to attend this function which the Kavi Samrat Upendra Baj Odia Chair is organizing. I am also thankful to Professor Gopindu Misra, Professor Padosh Misra, Dr. Amiya Kumar Samal, Professor Kalyan Gadai. And I also thank to Professor Rajaram Shukla, Dean Faculty of KSUB, BHU, who was telling that he had once visited Bhadrak, my birthplace. However, I want to speak in the Odisha, past, present, and the future. It may not be interesting, but you can know something about Odisha. I now start the history of Odisha. As you know, Odisha is a land of holiness, beauty with artistic excellence, like that of Banaras is also a holy city. The name Odisha today was Orissa earlier. This Odisha is derived from the Sanskrit Odra Vishaya. All Professor Misra and Professor Shukla is here. Sanskrit there. No, so from Sanskrit word Odra Vishaya, Odra Desha, which means Odra Desha or Odros country. By the ages of Ramayana and Mahabharata, 10th and 8th century BC, the people of Odisha were playing important roles in Aryan polity. The latter epic mentions three names: Kalinga, Odra, and Utkala. This was because of martial tradition of Odisha. During 6th century BC, Kalinga was a renowned kingdom in the Indian political system, no doubt. To our earliest reference, so to say, the country Odra is found in the Manusmriti, which is of 2nd century BC. The location of this country, Odra, was Ortes, as indicated by the ancient Roman historian Pliny in his book of natural history. Natural history. The famous Chinese traveler Huan Shao, in his account of century 639 AD, mentions that name of this country was Ucha, Wuchha, Ucha. Muslim geographers of the 9th and 10th century has named this country as Ursin or Urspin. Ursin or Urspin. You know, Alberuni, a renowned philosopher and historian, scholar also, scientist, he was a scientist also of 11th century. He was a Muslim and he mentions the name of this country as Udra or Bishayu. Udra or Bishayu. The Tibetan scholars also call it as Odisha. Besides Buddhist write and then the Muslim chroniclers of this medieval history gradually made use of the name Odisha. But in the early 15th century onwards, it was called Odisha according to the officials as well as private records. Odisha was conquered by Britishers. Odias were known for its bravery, and it was difficult to defeat the courageous Odia soldiers. Odias were known as warriors also. The Britishers on 21st September in 1803 came in 3 ships from Kolkata to Baleshwar coast. Baleshwar, you know, it is a district in Odisha, coast of Odisha. The number of British soldiers were 1,000. Captain Morgan was the general of the team, and Lieutenant Bruton was leading the soldiers. One Mayur Pandit was looking after the Marathas. People of Maharashtra, known as Marathas, did not resist at the time, but at Balighat, Balighat, Marathas soldiers tried to resist but failed miserably by British soldiers. In this way, only one British soldier was killed according to the history. Since 1804 to 1857, till the Sepoy Mutiny, Odisha fought war against the Britishers. This 54 years of war weakened Odisha. First, Odias fought against Afghans and Mughals, and then with the Marathas, and subsequently against Britishers. So Odisha's backbone was broken after this fight. For a century or more than that, Baleshwar, Puri and other parts of Odisha were captured by the Britishers. Hence, Odisha was under the foreign rule at least for 300 years. But the advent of Utkala Gaurava Madhusudan Das gave opportunity for emancipating Odisha from British clutches. You must be knowing the Madhu barrister, Madhusudan Das, the Utkala Gaurava, he was called. At the time of Sipai Mutiny, Bakshi Jagabandhu, Bir Surendra Sai and another Chakra Visoi, with their gallantry, taught Britishers a lesson. Yet Britishers were not perturbed. Gandhiji and Ambedkar both are remembered today for emancipating Dalits. But much before their work, Madhusudan Das created example for uplifting the Dalits. They were not only employed but were given social status through the Utkala tannery. You know, Utkala tannery was making shoes which was being exported to not only countries but foreign countries also. So it had a name by that time. But due to paucity of funds, this tannery could not survive. When Gandhiji visited Odisha for the second time, he met Madhusudan Das and spoke high of this work. He wanted to help for the revival of this tannery. On his request, some entrepreneurs outside Odisha visited Cuttack for revival package, but they wanted to shift the production center to the other states, which Madhusudan Das did not agree, because he wanted that Odia should be benefited, not others. So it could not be revived. One Major Desari has written a book, Indian Polity. He had mentioned in that book of 1868 to amalgamate Odia dominated areas. So also another Britisher, Sir Stafford Northcote, had recommended to the British rulers to make Odisha and Assam separate states. But Assam could be a separate state in 1875 and Odisha could not be. Utkala Gaurava Madhusudan Das started agitation and various strategies to emancipate Odisha during British rule. Lord Curzon, you know, you must have read his name from history. Lord Curzon, who served as the Viceroy of India from 1899 to 1905, he was known for dividing the Bengal for administrative purpose. So he was very controversial for that. And he had visited Odisha in 1900, December 26th of 1900, and he was astonished to see temple arts and sculptures. He could learn that Odisha's art and sculptures are in plight due to the administrative reasons and recommended the amalgamation of Odisha. Hence, he recommended for a amalgamation of Odia dominated areas. As a result of this, in 1905, Sambalpur district, Kalahandi, Patna, Sonpur, Bamanda and Gangpur, etc. areas were separated from Madhya Pradesh and amalgamated with Utkala or Odisha after 337 years. But Ganjam and Jaipur areas could not come to Odisha due to opposition from Madras province. Subsequently, Lord Curzon tendered his resignation and the process was delayed for 30 years. The agitation for separate state was intensified in 1924, almost 100 years back. The Congress party did not cooperate, yet Madhusudan Das with all others strongly demanded for a separate Odisha state in 1927 before the Simon Commission. And Attlee subcommittee was there also. So Madhubabu fought and demanded. The subcommittee recommended for a separate province, which was also passed in Bihar Odisha Assembly in the year 1930, and its copy was sent to the first round table conference, which was held in London. Interestingly, when Simon Commission was touring India in 1928, the commission was opposed by other Indians. But Madhusudan Das of Odisha welcomed to Simon Commission, and Odisha or Utkala could be a separate state because of this reason. When Odisha was made a separate state on the language basis, along with the Sindh, which was located in southeastern part of Pakistan, Sindh and Odisha, at a time they were made separate states. But in India, Odisha is the first state which was formed on the basis of language. Of course, Madhusudan Das, Gopandhu Das, Bhagavat Prasad Samantray Mohapatra were no more to see this separate Utkala or Odisha. You know, Bhagavat Prasad Mohapatra was the first Odia deputy speaker of Bihar Odisha Assembly, and he was father of Kantakobi Lakshmikant Mohapatra also. He was very close to Madhubabu and Fakir Mohan. However, Maharaja Krishna Chandra Gajapati of Parola Khemundi played a vital role for this, because when we got independence, a separate state. Madhubabu was not there, Gopandhu was not there, Bhagavat Prasad Mahapatra was not there. So it was really the Krishna Chandra Gajapati who played a very vital role. Finally, Utkala, Odisha became a separate state on the language basis for the first time in India. On the 1st April 1936, it was separated. The Krishna Chandra Gajapati became its first Prime Minister, Premier. They were known as Prime Minister, not Chief Ministers. The first governor of Odisha was Sir John Havak, who took oath at Ravenshaw College. Now it has become an university, Cuttack. It is situated in Cuttack. Gajapati was not in Congress party, but he had a coalition government. He formed a coalition government because Congress refused to form the government. Let Vishwanath Das, he was given a chance to form the government, but Congress party, High Command, they didn't want that Congress should form the government. And Krishna Chandra Gajapati was given an option, so he made a coalition government with other parties. So he was the first Prime Minister who headed the coalition government in Odisha. Like this was the past history, and about the, I want to tell you about the, if you look at the present scenario also, Odisha after independence has suffered a lot. The Congress ruled more than 35 years in Odisha. But Navin Patnaik's regional party BJD ruled for 24 years only. BJD's main demand about the special category state was never fulfilled by the central government. But when BJD is in opposition now, you must be knowing that how opposition and ruling parties, there also there is pandemonium in assembly, and it is assembly, that assembly is not smoothly running, and most probably in Odisha on 4th April there will be a single session, and the session will end. Perhaps we are expecting. There are some bills to be passed, and after that they will sign by the assembly. BJD is the main opposition party in Odisha now, but they are also not demanding. They are also not demanding the special category state. There are also reasons that why you should know why center did not want the special category state. I think it is the Uttarakhand was the last state who got the special category state, and center is not interested to give any state this special category state. Special category state will gain more financial help. Assam, Himachal Pradesh, Mizoram, Manipur, Nagaland, Sikkim, Tripura, and lastly Uttarakhand and Telangana also. They have got special category status. But Odisha the reason is that Odisha is not a hilly area, and difficult terrain is not there. Terrain means, stretch of land. Low population density is the also reason. Strategic location along with border with neighboring countries is not there also in Odisha. So they didn't consider Odisha to get special category status. So, but they have focused on when Modi government or BJP government came to power, they wanted to help Odisha financially also. In railway, we are lagging behind. During Congress government, they were taking maximum revenue from Odisha, but they were not giving any special grant for Odisha. But nowadays, the railway grant is more than double the Congress was giving. So they are helping Odisha. It is due to Modi's special focus on Odisha and the change of guard also. You know, the Mohan Charan Maji has become the Chief Minister of Odisha. Naveen Patnaik could not be Chief Minister again in the last election of May. So in June 11, Mohan Charan Maji became the Chief Minister. You know, there are two Deputy Chief Ministers. One is Kanak Bardhan Singh Dev and another is Prabhati Parida, Mrs. Prabhati Parida. So they are given, Odisha is given some more importance through this, and there are some ministers, although there are no sufficient ministers, even then they are managing. The Chief Minister has Finance Department, the INPR Department, and more departments. It is now considered that this is high time to go for expansion of the cabinet. But government may consider after this 12 or 13 of April, government Mohan Maji, Chief Minister, may go for expansion of his government. He also, there are some posts lying vacant in what do you call it? Some posts in some government posts, they will be also filled up by BJP leaders. It is expected that. But it is up to them to decide. Now that is going on Odisha, they discuss all about these things. On 11th June, BJP formed a new government under Odisha, under the leadership of a tribal, Sri Mohan Charan Maji, tribal leader. He was a tribal leader. Odia Asmita. In the election, last election, the slogan was, BJP's slogan was Odisha Asmita, or self-respect is the slogan. 2,90,000 crores was the budget estimated in the last assembly session. This is going on, may end on 4th. The 2,90,000 crores. So they are trying to revive Odisha, they uplift Odisha. They want to speed up the work. There were two new Deputy Chief Ministers, I told you. The Speaker, Mr. Soumyarajan Patnaik, was telling Speaker should speak less. But the Speaker of Odisha Legislative Assembly, Mrs. Surama Padi, he was a minister also, but he speaks, she is a very strict politician, and she speaks right things, and everybody likes, excepting the opposition, because the opposition never likes neither the government nor the Speaker. And you know, Mr. Mohan Charan Maji, he has taken some measures for which the government has not become unpopular so far. He has taken some bold steps also. You know, there was the first, after they came to power, the first cabinet decided to have a purpose fund for Sri Jagannath Temple. It was of 500 crores. You must have idea about the purpose fund. The long-term fund the government wanted to invest, and 4 doors were closed. So they opened next day when it took oath. The next day Mohan Charan Maji went to Jagannath Temple in the early morning, and 4 doors were opened. And those who were Many got a chance to enter into the temple. It was closed for some reason. I think only one way was open during Nabin Patnaik's government. So also, the Ratna Bhandar, you understand? Store. The store, Jagannath temple store, where precious ornaments are stored. So it was also not opened. The key was missing. So many times they tried, but the key was not available. So a duplicate key was made, but people suspected that something has gone wrong, or they suspected that somebody has stolen precious ornaments of Jagannath. So there was a committee. A committee was formed by Law Minister Prithviraj Harichandan. He is son of Vishwabhushan Harichandan, who was a law minister during Nabin Patnaik's government, and subsequently he was the governor of Andhra Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. So he tried a lot, and the committee under Justice Rath, a retired judge of Odisha High Court, so a committee was formed, and they're trying to open this store. They have verified the store and some verification of the ornaments and all that. That is process is going on, and we are expecting that before Car Festival or Rath Yatra, the store may be opened. So this is besides the state's art, culture, and heritage are to be developed. New government has decided to spend 200 crores, and the corpus fund to be constituted for art, culture, and heritage. Odia chairs to be established in the reputed universities, as well as online courses to be started on Odia culture. I think you have got this Kavi Samrat Upendra Bhanja chair. It has been opened, and in some other important universities, they are going to open some more chairs. So the government is trying that. And they have done one thing in the present situation. The Padma awardees shall be given 30,000 rupees per month. Government has decided. And the Madhusudan Rao, Bhakta Kavi Madhusudan Rao, who was a devotional poet, and he had the Madhu Varnabodh. Varnabodh, the first letters which we learn. We are in Odia medium schools, and it was also in the course. So that Madhurao's Varnabodho was its attractive editions for the learners have been published. It will be distributed very soon. It has been published in a better way, and it will be distributed even where Odia, when in other places, other states, when there are a number of Odia schools, it will be distributed there. Government has decided. Through PM Utsaah scheme, Prime Minister's higher education campaign, which has been signed with Government of India, they are going to also do this to help the ladies to be self-sufficient. So they have introduced Subhadra, and it has become a popular scheme in Odisha, Subhadra. So ladies are getting money. So SSG groups, they are also getting money. And the, new education policy of government of India shall be followed by the state government. It has been decided. And 40 more PG courses, syllabuses has been corrected. Syllabuses have been corrected to be included in PG courses. Government of Odisha has introduced the Ayushman Bharat scheme from this April 1st. And it has been launched earlier also, but it was officially launched from the 1st April. And even 70 or above, 70 years of age, they are entitled for this free medical treatment and all that. Besides, there are other persons who are getting benefit. And besides, 29,000 dispensaries, they have been benefited with Ayushman Bharata and Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya schemes. This has been implemented so that 1 crore families, middle class families, they shall get cashless benefits in this health system. The Honorable President of Singapore had recently visited Odisha, and as a result of this ITE education services, Singapore and Government of Odisha have been signed. And besides agreement on the semiconductors, artificial intelligence, aerospace technology, marine engineering and digital animation, etc. They have been also signed with Singapore President. Nano Unicorn scheme also is an initiative by the Skill Development and Technical Education Department designed to foster entrepreneurship for the youth. The scheme has converted as a field scheme, and the target is to develop 1,200 nano unicorns within 3 years. Now, there are also some more things. I want to briefly tell about the future of Odisha. This is present scenario I could tell. I don't know whether you are satisfied with some data was there and I was telling. If you're not. And about the future of Odisha. Banaras is our Prime Minister in Narendra Modi's constituency, no doubt. But he has given much focus for the development of Odisha nowadays. So also our Union Education Minister, Sri Dharmendra Pradhan. His father died recently. He was also Devendra Pradhan. He was also an Union Minister under Vajpayee government. Dharmendra Pradhan, who wants all-round development of Odisha as well as the India. Our Indian tribal minister, Mr. Joel Oram, is there to look after the tribal problems. And about another Union Minister, I'll tell you, is Ashwini Vaishnav, who is the Railway Minister, IT Minister, and he is also doing a lot of things for Odisha. Besides, some Odia officials, they are highly placed in Government of India. We are proud of most faculties and brilliant students here in Banaras Hindu University also. It also, Odias, there are so many Odias who are happy to know. First time I am coming to Banaras, I could not know this when Professor Gopal Mishra told me. I was happy. I am surprised really that so many Odia faculty members, students, I am really happy. So imagine the future of Odisha and the Odias. Odias want to be head of a dog rather than tail of a tiger. This is mentally. Once upon a time, Odias were so brilliant and they were known for this behavior. Nice ending. This is ending. So this is the end part of my speech, and so Odias should follow the tradition of Mahajana Jena Gatasya Pantha. Means we must follow the footprints of our ancestors and teachers, as Acharya Vyasa has mentioned. Mande Utkal Janani, Mande Bharat Mata.